We conclude the program with the great chanting, the Loka Samasta Sukhinatu. That's very important because we have not created the nature. But with our behavior, we are destroying the nature. So there is something which is not going with the normal ethics. As we have not created it, we don't have the right to finish it off. But by our behavior, we are going to finish it off. For the last 50 years, the degeneration process is very, very fast. And it has come to the level that there is no way to get back. We cannot go back. And we are there. When we are there, still we know that it is not going to work, but how can we stay simply ignoring the fact that everything is going to be destroyed? We cannot simply remain because of compassion and feeling for your fellow beings, empathy and all. That you have to do something about it till you die. Whether it works or not, it is important. But that is why we are doing it. I am quite sure it's not going to go back, but you have to do it till you die. Then you feel satisfied. I am done. We are still looking for our own welfare, individual welfare. In that, normally in our private life, we are only concerned about our own welfare. And then it is not possible. It's a sad story how human beings have become like this. We are the biggest group of animals. We can exist with so big group of people. That is the speciality of human nature. That is why we took control over the nature. Other animals are small numbers. They can make groups. Human beings are not like that. We can make big groups. Internationally, we can make big groups. If we are a small group, we were a small group. If we continued like that, then the destruction will confine to a small area. Now as we are so big, that the destruction will be so big. It is an advantage that we have, but it's going to be a big disadvantage. What to do? Nothing you can do. But still you cannot simply stay without doing something. You know that nothing is going to happen, but you have to do something. And when you come to that point of extinction of this special group of beings, we call us Homo sapiens. We are the last generation. Those people who study this, they say we are the last generation of Homo sapiens. Did it make any difference in our consciousness? This information. When we go back home, we go into the old pattern of living. We are concerned about only our own stuff. We forget that our race is going to extinct and we are the last generation of Homo sapiens. So it is not a small thing, actually it is such a big thing. Still it is not really gone into our being to do something about it. We are concerned about our own stuff, our own sorrow, our own suffering. And we are not concerned about the existence of not only humanity, existence of the existence. We are not. Somehow it is a strange thing. Any other animal, when they understand that there is going to be an earthquake or a volcanic eruption, they all as a group, they migrate to a safe place. Our race is going to be extinct and we are safely sitting, ignoring the fact of extinction. A special race. We believe that it is not going to happen. Strange. So if you put your attention into that area, this is a big thing. The whole humanity is not going to be here in the same way. What are we doing for that? Our political leaders, people who have strength and power, people who have money, and what are they doing? They are still trying to amass more money and make something bigger than what they have already done, and not concerned about the human extinction Yuval Harari. You have to Google him and listen to his speeches. What he says is, we are changing from the organic control to inorganic control. We are going to enter into an era where there will be the dictatorship of data. Artificial intelligence is going to rule the world. For example, now when I fly from Kerala to Sweden or anywhere, I'm safe and happy. I feel I'm safe and happy because there is a pilot who is driving the plane. So at least he will take care of, because he has to survive. So he will take care of. That is the confidence that you sit in the plane. When the plane shakes, you sit quietly because he is there also. Now there are going to be planes without pilots. There are going to be cars and vehicles and trains without pilots, without drivers. They will not make any kind of mistake, because everything is, when you buy a car, you are in the system whereby how the car should go will be dictated from the system. Nobody need to drive your car. Nobody drive their buses, trains, cars, planes, nothing. Everything works very smoothly with no accidents. What do you prefer then? You prefer a human driver or this kind of robot? And so we are going from a very known world, which is our old ways, to a completely different field whereby we have no control. Everything is controlled by data. And so one who has the data will be in control of power. Definitely. So who is going? Already Google is reigning us. We don't know. When you are sleeping, you put your phone nearby with the sleep app, and it will say in the morning how much you slept. You have slept already, but Google has to say how deep you slept. Then you feel comfortable. You take the phone, you put your hand there, your blood pressure, your heartbeat, all your internal system will be read by that, and the information goes to Google. All our internal organic system is under the control of certain database, which is there in Google or in iCloud or somewhere. The power goes from humanity to this kind of control system. And so the government will try on these people to exercise power over them. And so they try to nationalize the data. They cannot do it because it is everywhere and nowhere. How are you going to nationalize this? You cannot do anything about it. I am thinking, what is going to happen? We have already manipulated tomatoes. We have already manipulated because we are very lazy that we don't want tomatoes with seeds. We are manipulating all the plant kingdom to bear fruit without seeds because it's good for us. How did we do it? We manipulated the information in the genes and we manipulated it. It's easy. Now we have not started manipulating ourselves, but we believe that we have not started manipulating ourselves. We have already started manipulating ourselves. If a seedless tomato is what we look for, why not a seedless man? And a seedless woman? Women don't need to bear the burden and pain of delivery. Our children will grow in incubators. You just have to allow them to take your seeds. It's going to come. Then you have no labor pain, nothing. Both of them are free for the time being for 10 months. And then you go there and look your small baby which is growing there, and there are many babies are growing. And then you are happy, you pay the money, and then when it is ready, you get back your child. And that child, how will it be? Will he be like you, or it will be a different species? Definitely it will be a different species. Now we have already made chickens and hens in small cages standing there for 3 months continuously, adding weight with a lot of antibiotics in their body. We are really chopping them, eating them nicely. We have manipulated them. They are not for laying eggs. If we want, they can lay eggs. If we don't want, they don't. If we want children, we can have. If we don't want children, we can. And there will be factories where they produce children. It's going to come. After my time, if you are alive, you will see this. Like tomatoes and other things, we create this kind of a system whereby, can you believe that the Homo sapiens are continuing their race? So, that is why, if you look, you can see, we are the last generation of the Homo sapiens. That is what you see if you look. When in my old days, when I have seen my grandmother when I was small, I heard all the stories of old people and saints and all kinds of things. And then I have seen my father's generation, a part of it. Then I have seen my generation fully, and I have seen the next generation, and I have seen the last generation. I have almost seen 6 generations of people, and I have seen the change in their emotional plans, in their mental makeup, in the content of their consciousness, everything. When I was small, I have no possibility to really respond or agitate against my parents. That I felt as a really terrible thing. Now our new generation, after 70 years, they can do this. You say something, they blast like an atom bomb. We are changing. Our race is changing. If our generation could really manipulate the tomatoes and all kinds of plants by manipulating their genes, of course the same thing can be done in human beings to create human beings with no known diseases. Unknown diseases may come. We are there. So actually the traits of Homo sapiens which were there up till today is not there, not going to be there from now on. It's going to be a different generation, people, with completely different set of values, if at all there is something called values. It's totally different. And we will not be able to understand how they behave, how they talk, how they respond, how they are going to work on. Everything will be controlled by a robot system or data, thereby all the cars and buses and everything. In hospitals, there is no doctors. No need. So we are trying to really push our children to study like anything, day long and night long, so that they get an admission in the medical college. Covetable thing. And when they pass out as a doctor, there is no job. No drivers, no doctors. So there will be a big community of people, jobless people. They don't know what to do. How are they going to tackle that? We are not yet thought about that situation. Our governments and philosophers or maybe our intelligentsia has not yet talked or discussed about an educational plan which could really give a support for the coming generation, which is a completely altered generation. How are we going to tackle that? And these people, they are like fish out of water. They don't know what to do. What job is going to be their job, we don't know. We are pushing down with the same education policy. Whatever we are teaching will not fit in with their life there. And so how are they going to survive? If we are loving beings, why not we think about all these things? If we love our children, why not we think about these things? That simply means that we are also very self-centered. We are not even thinking about our children. As a society, as a government, we are not doing it. We really look. And so the power banks, they manipulate everything. All our information will be taken, and then they manipulate human existence in a completely different way. And most of the people will be in the streets having nothing. Criminality will grow. I don't know what is going to happen, but how are we going to survive? The only possibility that we have is just to understand ourselves, who we are, what are we doing. If we don't think about that, we will invite the disaster very quickly. Are we concerned about that? Or are we concerned about the small things which goes inside our family, with our friends, the small fight? When we introspect ourselves, we can see we are not concerned, heartless beings. I consider that this is something very, very important. I've been thinking about it for years and years. In 1992, I made an organization called Center for Conservation of Humanity. At that time, nobody thought about humanity is going to be extinct. People were laughing, Center for Conservation monkeys was an idea, but not humanity. Because it is a big concern. If our humanity is not there, you and me are not going to be there at all. We are doing our inner exploration for this end, not for anything. That's why we chant the mantra Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It is not for getting some power or some miracles, and it's not for that. We have to get there into our own very deeper areas and understand and calm ourselves to feel a wholeness of the entire cosmos, that I am part of that, or I am that. Thereby, my doings will not really be a damaging intervention with the nature. That is why we are doing it. First of all, we have to exist here. And then something can be done. We forget all these things and we are running behind for small things. Our race is going to be finished. Then, of course, the other things like war, global warming, all kinds of things. We are in every breath which we are taking in and putting out should have the feeling of coexistence and praying for the existence of this nature, which is so important. It's a lot of sacrifice we have to do, maybe. And then I see that I am feeling this. If we are the last generation of Homo sapiens in this world, our sufferings will be so big that we are starting to experience this. Because now the generation which is going to come here after us are different beings, different children. They are born with their cell phones. They are born with the data, and they are completely surrendered to the system of data, that they are completely in a different sphere of existing. They are not the Homo sapiens.
Totally out of place.
They are completely different. And you are living with them. It is your life is going to be the most hectic and hard and suffering life that humanity ever have experienced. Because you will be totally misunderstood. And then whatever you say will be responded in a completely drastic and different way. That you will not know how you are going to locate yourself. You feel pain because these things which is going to happen you are not aware of. The suffering will be such a great suffering for this generation of people who are here, because the next generation is going to be a completely different generation with a completely different set of values and different set of behavior and different set of responses and responding with the rest of the society. And you have to bear it as you hold the old traits a little bit. If you are not holding the old traits, you will not suffer. As you are trained to hold it, you suffer. We are going to suffer. We are suffering. You don't know how to place yourself. All our expectations that when you are sick, somebody is going to be nearby. Nobody is going to be nearby you because everybody is busy with their own thing. Your own children questions you terribly. You are alone. Most of the time you will be alone. You have to lead you were always in a community. Now you are going to be alone. You cannot be scared of this aloneness because things are like that. And you have to stand by yourself with your own aloneness. And what can support you? Only your inner enquiry and stability, that you feel good, whether the society is changing or not. You feel that I am the whole. So there is a great possibility with the inner enquiry. You reach somewhere, with the inner enquiry, you reach somewhere that you can stabilize yourself. And you feel some compassionate attitude towards the world. And that is all what you can do. Whether it is going to stop the progress of deterioration or not, that we don't know, but we can remain little calm. And we are the most suffering part of the Homo sapiens. It's going to come. Parents are left alone, and they will be manhandled by the next generation. They will be questioned terribly by the next generation. You cannot expect anything which you have expected, you have been expecting all these years, will follow the coming years. Everything is good. So we are the, what you call, the burden bearers of this whole race. When we go to the zoos nowadays, if you go, I hate going to the zoos, but if you happen, in the olden times, in my youth, I have gone there. Where these poor animals are caged there. They have every right to be free. And we suppose we have kept chimpanzees in the zoo. 2 generations after, they keep us there in the in zoos. Yeah. If we could keep chimpanzees, which was earlier than the Neanderthal men, of course we are going to be there in zoos. Whatever we say, whether the chimpanzee understand, we go there and talk to chimpanzees. Do they understand anything? And chimpanzee says something, and do we understand anything? We are shouting at the chimpanzee, please leave the child. Chimpanzee doesn't understand what you talk. And chimpanzee want to play maybe, and they the chimpanzee drag the small being into somewhere else through the water, and the child is surprised and looking. And chimpanzee was saying something, the child don't understand. The child was saying something to the chimpanzee doesn't understand. And then what we understood, maybe the chimpanzee is going to talk to the child. Who knows? We cannot take the risk. So what we can do? We shoot the chimpanzee. We don't understand each other. And exactly the same way, our children, they don't understand you. We are chimpanzees. I am teaching yoga in this context. Till we die, we will not return. We are not going to return. We continue this. We will never give up.
No, I'm with you.
We are not going to give up. That is where I am working. Till my last breath, I will not give up this, because I am taught by dogs the possibility. And if you are not intellectualizing a situation with the chimpanzee, and you feel the chimpanzee and stay there with the chimpanzee will feel you. We are intellectualizing the consequences of chimpanzee's intervention with a fallen child. It is a different story. It is going to be a completely different story, and the result is unpredictable. Whereas, if you push yourself into the emotional field of your own heart, certainly you look at the chimpanzee will certainly know. All animals will know. All beings will know. As we are part of the old, for the last 2,500 years, we have been really giving great prominence to our intellectual brain, that we can only do that. Now, we have to transform from our intellectual possibilities to our emotional possibilities. And that is why we are doing all kinds of practices here, to transform ourselves like a big shift from our head to our heart and feel things. And when we feel the next generation, they feel. They feel. Though they are going to be genetically completely modified, but still the feelings may be there. We cannot say it will be there fully, but it will be there as they are beings. They are not robots, so the robots miss the feelings, beings hold the feelings. And so there is a possibility. And we are working on that possibility of feeling. Thereby, because our human brain, Homo sapiens brain, I don't know what is going to be the brain of the next generation, but our brain has this potentiality of empathizing. We have certain neurons called empathy neurons. When you cry, I automatically start to cry. Because it triggers certain neurons in my brain that I feel the same emotion. I don't know why, but I am like that. Everybody is like that because we have special neurons for that. And so these beings who may still have those neurons. So you address to the neurons, and when they start to really fire, certainly there is a communication. That's the only communication that's possible, which can survive the world or existence, keep the existence possible. And there is a big possibility for the practices which we do. We are not intellect. That is why specifically in every meditation I am asking you, don't rationalize, don't analyze, don't discriminate, don't make any just simply be there. Feel, feel, feel. And then what will happen? You become a feeling being. And feelings are universal. Whether you are in the form of chimpanzee, or in the form of dog, or in the form of amoeba, or in the form of a potato or tomato. Because when the temperature moves and changes, this small plant also look at the change of the light. They are surviving with light. They feel the light and they produce. So there is a big possibility. We are not going to give up. Till we die, we go on moving. If it's something worse, something worse. In India, we are a little better. Because we have not surrendered completely to death. We are, in many ways. We will do something about it. Whether it is 3 people or 5 people, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We will work with this. And when we really understand the feelings, certainly we can feel and communicate certain feelings, and that can keep them a little bit slowing down the process. So, the work which we are doing has a big importance.